Hello and welcome to Kitchen Counter Crafts. If you like this video, would you please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I have done some videos on the DeAtramentis document inks, like the black and the black blue, but today I have brown for you. Why? Because I need to fill up this TWSBI that I bought at the Dallas Pen Show for just a little bit because it was kind of like with my, well, not kind of like, it was right along with my other TWSBI that I had to undo, and it has all kinds of scratches. I have another video on that, so I'm not going to get into it, but this one was in great shape, and it is an EF, so that means it's going to be perfect for my drawing and sketching. So I'm gonna fill it with document ink because I got it on the cheap, and so I can use it for drawing and art. All right, so as I just well, you know what, I'm gonna shake this up a little bit. Sometimes these can settle. I don't know if you can tell, there's a little bit of settling in there, although I don't know if that's just a part of the ink itself. I don't know, we'll give it a good shake here. As I'm inking this up, I do want to say that many like legit artists, not like me, amateur, legitimate artists use the document inks in their art mainly because of the way that they behave, and there's another reason why too. It's also because they mix well with the other document art inks, and that is really exciting because you can create your own colors, or you can ink your fingers, whatever you want to do. So you can create your own colors with the ink, and I have several of them now, mostly browns, blues, black, and I also have white. So if you're interested in taking a look at the DeAtramentis white, it's a really cool ink, and I don't think you have to worry too much about keeping these in your pens from what I've read, but I do know that they settle out sometimes. So the white ink was especially viscous, and I kept it in my Platinum Preppy forever, and each time I just had to rinse the nib off for any sediment, and then it just got going again. So I'm gonna try it in this TWSBI. It is an extra fine. I'm gonna see how that goes, and then I can do a review or just give you an update in a short video or something like that. So let me zero in on this so that you can see. And my sunlight is fading fast, so I better hurry up here. I try to do these in the daytime, but with work, it's kind of hard sometimes. Wow, that is a really, really lovely brown. And I've got a thing for brown inks also. Oh, the nib is EF. All right, the bleed is most likely going to be none. This is Tomoe River paper with an endless recorder, so I'm going to just write that down here. Endless recorder, and it has Tomoe paper. All right. Shading, we can check that out and see if it does once it's dried on the paper. And let me bring this in even more so that you can see a writing sample. Dang it, I thought I could put it all on one sentence, but I cannot. So there it is. It's actually, oh, I love it. I love it. I was really, really debating and battling between the gray, which I've heard a lot about, and then the brown. And I thought I could probably make, well, not probably, I can make gray out of my DeAtramentis document black and white. So I ended up getting the brown because I don't have anything with that. And I've also heard that yellow is great because then, and you need to kind of get the, you know, the, what is it, CYMK, like the basic ink, so that you can have the cyan, yellow, and magenta, so that you can make any color out of those. So I think that's going to be my next area or focus of purchase. So in this, what I do is I just flip my pen over. I've found that that kind of brings in a lot of the ink flow, which is kind of nice because then I don't have to worry about, I don't know, getting yet something else to bring that. It also gets the ink flowing, especially if I just ink the pen like this. So this is the document brown, and I'm actually not going to do a comparison because I have a bunch of brown inks that I have done before, and then I'll just kind of compare them that way. So from what I understand, this is supposed to be a fairly quick drying ink, so we'll take a look, and we'll also do a water test just to see how that goes. That should be 5. Yeah, it's pretty dry already, and it's even drying here fairly quickly. So let's see, yeah, it's about 10. Yeah, okay, 5, 10, kind of similar. All right, so let me bring it close to the camera. As you can see here, it's still drying in the big blobby part, but wowie, I'm so excited to use this in art. Very excited. I will definitely be letting you know how that ink behaves and what it looks like as I move forward. All right, speaking of moving forward, let me do a water test. All right, let's drop some water on there. See how it does. All right, you slide here first. No, you probably haven't. This is probably an ink that's been tested by many, but it's still damp and there is literally no movement, which is really what I wanted, especially when I'm dealing with watercolors. So I am going to, I think I'm going to do some art up here, and then I'm going to let it dry, and I'm going to put some watercolors on top. So just stay tuned. All right, so I just did a quick sketch with a watercolor, and this part's still wet, so I added some ink in there, and you can actually see it spreading. So if you're adding too wet, of course it's going to spread, and you can see how wet that is. So I'm going to just let that dry while I talk about what this looks like on Midori MD paper. So let me show you that. And there's the document brown that I made a swatch of on Midori MD, and it has quite a bit of shine to it. No sheen, but a little shine, just like the other document, like blue black and also the black. So that I like. And now I told you I had a bunch of brown inks, like a bunch, because I love brown. And so this is what it looks like as compared to all the other browns that I have here. And in the sunlight, I'm going to tell you, it doesn't look much different than any of these. The only one that I could possibly compare it to is the Diamine chocolate brown, but even that is too light. So maybe somewhere between the sepia and like a dark brown. So anyway, don't know if that's helpful at all to see it compared in that way. Yamaguri is right above it, and it's considerably darker, maybe on a brownish gray kind of scale, but this is like what I would call a chocolate brown, real like a milk chocolate brown. So that's what that looks like. So hopefully that's helpful. And then let me check and see if this has dried. Pretty much. All right, now I'm gonna put some ink. Oh, you can't even see, can you? I'm gonna put some ink on this drawing, And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put some water on top of it to just see how it does. And let's see there. Hope I'm not gonna screw this up too bad. Just doing this here. All right, so I'm just kind of adding in a little bit of the darkness there, and I believe the orange has these here and here, and then it is separated out for sure here and here. I'm just going by memory now because I don't really have anything in front of me. And then this is part of the Colosseum with the sections, and I think I'm gonna leave that part alone. We're just gonna go here with a couple lines and add a couple lines there as well. Okay, I'm just gonna do it like this just so that we can grab a little bit. Should I go ahead and do these? I can do some of these arches here. Okay, that looks a little bit more like the Colosseum, so you can see what's going on. All right. And we're gonna add water on this. So let's see. It'd be nice if, I don't mind it moving. So I just put this down, so let's see if it moves at all. Oh, by the way, this is just a water brush. It's filled with water. And so it helps just to kind of move paint and stuff around. And as you can tell, oh no, there's some brown moving here. But I can't tell if that's previous, like, just previous watercolor. So, all right, it's not really moving, which is really what I wanted. So hopefully this was a good way for you to take a look. And again, sun is shining right there. Let me see if I can move it up. No, I can't. Okay, well, at least it's in the sunlight. So you can see there is the DeAtramentis Document Brown, a lovely, lovely shade of brown. If you are looking and you're interested in having something that is gonna just warm up your drawings, warm up your writing. I'm gonna keep this hanging out in my pen. Usually I will fill and refill with the same color, especially if it's like a TWSBI that I'm dedicating to it, which I am. And so just stay tuned, and I will stay tuned. It might be a year later that I do another video on it, but hang out with me so that you can take a look and see how it behaves and how it behaves in a pen. No, again, don't put this in a vintage. Probably would not recommend that. But many artists put it in a TWSBI or a Lamy Safari, mainly because you can see it and then you can wash it all out. So hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, would you give it a thumbs up? And if it wasn't, would you let me know like what else you might need? And I'm happy to consider those things because I'm always looking for ways to make them better. So with that, see you in the next video. Bye.